If the audience would please note that our processional is beginning, our graduates are entering at the back of the auditorium. And if you turn to your right, you'll see our 3 graduates this evening. Okay. Next, we have our platform party. Followed by our faculty at our secondary building. Hello and good evening, everyone. We are ready for our class of 2022 graduation celebration. It's a very proud time for us here tonight. We'll now have our 3 seniors process to the front row. I want to briefly give some explanations. We have 3 languages working this evening. It might be best for the 3 graduates for you to go ahead and sit down so everyone can see. Thank you. As I was saying, we're utilizing American Sign Language tonight. We have spoken English, and we also have spoken Spanish. So there may be a few delays in the programming to ensure that all the language needs are met tonight for anyone in the audience. We also have our Superintendent, Luann Barron, joining us via Zoom tonight. So please expect some delays in that processing time of our program too. But, as always, things may come up. When students come up to get their diploma, they'll come over to this area and take a picture. And then the next student can proceed up to the platform. So for that, we're ready for our flag ceremony. So if I could ask all audience members to please stand for the presentation of the flag. Eric, please, audience members, please remain standing. We have Eric and Tyler tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Everyone, please be seated. Next, I'd like to introduce Luann Barron, who will appear on our screen momentarily. If our IT people could give Luann the go-ahead, please. Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome, class of 2022, for your graduation celebration. You graduates, I can see the three of you on screen, and I see your family behind you. To the students, teachers, friends, staff, alumni, and distinguished guests, welcome to the Kansas School for the Deaf 130th graduation celebration. Kansas School for the Deaf has been in existence for 160 years, which is quite a long time. We have had over 5,000 graduates, and you three join that distinguished group of alumni tonight. I'd like to welcome the state board members who are here with us, and the commissioner, Dr. Randy Watson, if you would please stand. He's the commissioner of the Department of Ed. We have Michelle Dombrowski, who is our Region 3 representative. She's on stage. Thank you, Michelle. We have Ben Jones, the Region 7 representative. Please rise. Janet Wow from Region 1. And the Region 4 representative. And then Melinda Hayes, who's the Region 2 representative. We are thrilled to have you join us tonight for this special occasion. Thank you so much. From what I can't see the stage, but I know our stage party is there. I'd like to introduce Bryce Hendricks, our secondary school principal. Molly Rothwell, our elementary school principal. Mary Hughes, our Dean of Student Life. Joan Macy, our Director of Outreach and Related Services. And then I'm also thrilled to have our graduation speaker, who is an alumni of the school, Travis Trumbull. And then, as I said, Michelle Dombrowski. I'll give her a brief introduction, and then she'll be giving some opening remarks for graduation tonight. Michelle graduated from the University of Iowa and now lives in Olathe with her husband and 2 boys. This year, she also has a senior who will soon be graduating later this month from Blue Valley, Southwest. Her youngest son is currently a sophomore. She loves spending time with her boys, running, watching her son's activities, including cross country. Michelle has served throughout the years in a variety of capacities, serving on several different boards from her church to her son's preschool when they were little. She currently serves on the PTO, and in her spare time, she gives swimming lessons for beginners of any age and any ability. Currently, she's serving on a variety of appointed committees for the state board. She's on the Kansas First Alliance Committee. That's the alliance between schools and the Board of Ed. She's also involved working with the board legal system with teachers in schools, and also on the virtual school charter committee. She's been assisting with the dyslexia task force as well, and also the vaping task force, working closely with teachers, administrators, parents to improve literacy for all Kansas students. So it's been a pleasure working with Michelle for the last 4 years. So Michelle, take it away. Please give Michelle a warm welcome to tonight.
It is an honor to be here with you on this special evening. On behalf of the Kansas State Board of Education, I extend congratulations to this class of 2022. Congratulations, you did it. And congratulations to all the parents and educators who provided support to these graduates throughout their journey. Well done. Your hard work and commitment to learning and building the skills needed to pursue your passions are what have brought you to this moment. As we celebrate your accomplishments, I want you to remember that high school graduation isn't the end. It's just the beginning of a new chapter in your journey. Whether you're pursuing post-secondary education or entering directly into the workforce, the knowledge and the life experiences you've gained here alongside your peers will guide you through this next chapter. And I couldn't be more proud and excited for you. I know the past few years haven't been easy ones. The pandemic created challenges and worries for all of us. You've persisted through social distancing, isolation, and countless disappointments of canceled activities, all necessary to protect your health and those around you. And through it all, you remain not only resilient, you remain focused, committed, and compassionate towards others, emerging stronger than ever. And that is truly remarkable. I hope that each of you will carry from that experience that you are strong and can face any challenges that come your way. That you will continue to embrace the importance of living selflessly and will always value the needs of others just as you would want them to value your own. And that you will continue to be leaders who inspire and motivate others to achieve their dreams. But most of all, I hope that you will all choose to live courageously. We cannot let fear of the unknown or fear of failure stop us from pursuing our own passions. Fear only has power over us if we allow it to. So when you start the new job, step up, don't shy away from the tough assignments. When you walk into that classroom on the first day, don't be afraid to ask questions. Participate in discussions or advocate for your needs. Again, live courageously and inspire others to do the same, because when you do, the whole world will open up for you. I could not be more prouder of each of you and more excited to see where this new journey will take you. I know you all will do great things. Thank you.
I'm extremely excited to introduce this year's graduation speaker for this evening. Our speaker was born deaf, and he was raised in a deaf family right here in Olathe. He's also a KSD alumni. He graduated from KSD in 2012. And he was the valedictorian and gave his speech 10 years ago. He followed that by attending Rochester Institute of Technology, which is RIT, and he majored in civil engineering technology. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in 2018. Then he returned home to be with family and to work. He has worked as a civil engineer for Kansas City for the last 4 years now. He's strongly involved with deaf clubs and with deaf sports associations. Please welcome our speaker, Travis Trumbull. Make sure we're here for the cameras. So, thank you for that beautiful introduction. It really gave me a sense of self-worth with that introduction. I hope in the future, when other folks introduce you and recognize your fabulous success and achievements in the future. We're here to celebrate your success, and I feel greatly honored to do so. I feel honored that you picked me to be your graduation speaker this evening. Yes, I am an alumni from the Kansas School for the Deaf. 15 years ago, teachers taught me how to stand up and give speeches. See, this is a picture of me during the oratorical contest, and they forced me to do it over and over and over again. And then they established the ASL Bowl during my senior year, so I was up on stage presenting for that as well. And then I gave my valedictorian speech during my graduation, so I really have to say thanks to KSD for giving me those experiences that produced opportunities for me in the future. So that experience really impacted my future, and as it well with you. When I was in college, I gave a few speeches, and I also was the best man in my best friend's wedding, which I was able to give a speech to before. I used to get so nervous giving speeches, and I was not an expert. Even to this day, I don't consider myself an expert speech giver. You know, graduation is a really big day for you. It's a special day. You have worked so hard for this moment, and here you are. And in a few moments, you're going to receive your diplomas, and maybe you'll run off, maybe you'll come back, maybe you're tired of school at this point, but there are teachers and parents out there in this audience that you really need to give your thanks to because they have supported you throughout these years, even and up until this big day. I know that right now you're thinking about seeing your name and receiving your diploma. Maybe you already have plans past graduation. Maybe some of you don't have any plans. You just want to get out of this place. Some of you might not know what plans you have, and it's hard to think about on a special day like this. But for this moment, I want you to put all that aside and think about what I'm saying here. I know you won't remember who I am as your speaker, but I want you to remember the content of my speech. And I have a lot of advice I could give you, but I really had to narrow it down to 3 things which I feel are extremely important for you to take with you tonight. Maybe you haven't heard this from other graduation speakers, but I hope that you'll listen to this one. Yes, you can see here I was an alumni from 2012, and that's exactly 10 years ago. And time does fly, just so you know. I was not the only alumni. My parents were actually alumni from KSD. They graduated almost 50 years ago. KSD has a very special place and always has in our hearts. Now I'm going to talk about my big plans. When I was your age, sitting right there in those very chairs 10 years ago, I had a vision of big plans. I wanted to have a fancy car. I wanted to have a yacht. I wanted to become rich. I mean, that was 10 years ago. Yeah, those are the things that I wanted. And here we are 10 years later. Do I have a fancy car? Do I have that yacht, you think? No, not exactly. I do have a small old house, But I do have a beautiful family. I met my fiance, and I have been with her for 6 years. I have 2 children. I have a dog, a rather large dog. I'm not kidding. It's a Great Dane, and it's huge. My kids absolutely love our dog. But does that mean I've been a failure in my plans? No. I'm still happy. I'm here. I got a smile on my face. I don't regret anything about my plans. This is an important thing that I want to instill in you today for your future. You know, things will happen not according to plan. Okay, life doesn't work that way. Typically, it does not. So I would like to explain to you tonight what success means. Does success mean that you have a big fancy mansion or a sports car or a yacht? No. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. It means how you handle all the challenges and the successes in your life. It's how you handle both of those on a daily basis. That's what success is. It doesn't mean what you have, and I'll explain a little bit further here. Got lots of true stories for you, things that have happened to me. A while back, I went to North Dakota, which is pretty far north, in a small town called Minot. I did not know a single soul there, and I was driving an old car to work, which actually broke down, so I had to pull over on the side of the highway. I didn't know what to do, so I had the car towed to a mechanic at the shop, and they were starting to work on it. When they presented the bill to me, it was way too expensive for me to afford. Of course, I was, just out of high school. I didn't have any credit cards, so I had to, right there on the spot, apply for a credit card, pay for the service, and then, you can't just charge your credit card and move on. No, you have to be responsible to pay that credit card off. So I had a meeting with my boss where I worked at North Dakota, and my boss kind of laughed at me because he had already had that experience, the same exact experience, and lots of people, just so you know, have that experience through life. You will not be the only one that has this kind of experience. So it's important that you do share these experiences with others that can help you. So my boss was willing to allow me to work a few overtime days, and I earned enough money from those overtime days to pay off what I owed on the credit card to fix that same old car. And I didn't buy a new car. I didn't buy a house. I had the same old beat-up car. And I'm still successful. The reason I was successful is because I went through that frustrating process. And I, got to the end point. But, it's not like I could just, I'll just buy a new car. I'll just charge it on another credit card. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to go through what's called a process. So I succeeded in that moment. Why do you think I succeeded? Well, I handled that very difficult time in my life, and I made it through. That's why I consider it a success. Regarding your visions, life doesn't always follow the plans that you have set up, but you need to continue whether your dream comes true or not. Maybe you want to travel, you want to become rich, maybe you want to be famous. It's important to continue to have those dreams, but I'm just here to help you shape the definition of success. 10 years down the road, it's not going to be the same vision you have on this day. So now we're here at your graduation evening, and you have new challenges ahead of you. I know you want to roll your sleeves up and start to work. Maybe some of you want to go to school. You might want to be pursuing a certificate. Some of you might want to own your own business, be a CEO, and earn lots of money. But just so you know, disappointments will come. It's important that you be prepared for those disappointments. Here's another example for you. What I mean by disappointment, lots of people, they get out and they apply for a job. They might have a one interview and think, oh, that's it, I'll get the job. Now, when I went through college, I had, pretty good experiences. I was thrilled to move back here to Olathe, my home, and I went ahead and applied to 50 different businesses and positions. I know some other folks that did apply to more places or less, and I got my first interview. I was thrilled. Are interviews fun? No, not in any respect. You have to dress up. I had to get a haircut. I had to iron my shirt. And just so you know, I hate ironing. But I went through that interview, and they said, well, we didn't pick you for this position. I was disappointed. They picked somebody else. I went through my second interview. Wasn't chosen for that. My third, my fourth, my fifth, my sixth. I did not quit. I just kept at it. On my 11th interview, imagine that, 11 times interviewing, I finally got my job. So that's when I became a civil engineer for Kansas City, which is a very special place for me now. So that's why I'm trying to impress upon you this concept. Now you're graduating, you're going to open up a door at some point and walk through it at your own pace, on your own path. Sometimes you'll encounter a door that's locked. You might have to struggle a little bit to get that door open. Sometimes you'll open the door and there's a wall right behind it. Is that reason to give up and quit? No. You have to continue to work hard to tear down those barriers. Okay, now I'm going to give you a little advice here. Now, don't get nervous. Don't be afraid. How do you think you got here today? You've been going to school every day. You've been working hard in class. You're committed to waking up on time to get to school on time. You've listened to your teachers ranting and raving, your parents giving you advice. You haven't been skipping school, and that's all brought you to this very day. And all our teachers and family members are watching you ready to graduate today. And does it mean that you're finished after you graduate? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm trying to impress upon you the concept that you need to work hard and remain committed to what you do. It might be taking more classes. It might be working different jobs. You might have a diploma in your hand, but next you're going to want to replace that diploma with a little bit of cash. Earning money is a good thing. If you do not work hard, you're not going to earn that money. Okay, again, you're holding this diploma. It's just a piece of paper. It's important, yes. It is very important to you. But you are also important. All these teachers have instilled tools within you. You're now armed with those important tools in your mind to forge a brilliant path ahead. I got this quote from my teacher here at KSD. I went off to college and started working in North Dakota, and I was a little bit nervous. Was I ready? Would I know what I needed to do? I wasn't sure. So I talked to my teachers and I said, work is a different experience. I don't know if I'm ready, but my teacher gave me this quote. You've got all the tools you need in your mind. You don't realize it, but you can take off now. And I left, and I learned many more new tools and new skills on my journey, and now I keep adding more new tools to my toolbox, as well should you. And here are some things I've discovered. You might be tired of school, you might be ready to take off, but I've heard a lot of people do that, and I would advise against it. When I was your age, I left school and I took off, and somebody asked me to write a check, and I said, oh, well, I never learned how to write a check. So what I did was I came back to KSD and I talked to my teachers, and they actually taught me. Even though I was already graduated, the teacher said, we're always here for you. And they are. They've taught you since a very young age for a very short period of time in your life before you fly the coop. You can't stand there and say, oh, I'm independent now. I'm all grown up. I don't need my support from my parents or family or teachers. You will continue to need support and advice for the rest of your life. You cannot do it alone. The teachers here are awesome teachers. And I say our teachers because I look in the audience and I see a lot of the same teachers that I had 10 years ago. They taught me everything I needed to know here in KSD. And you'll encounter things across the years, and you'll say, "Oh, I remember learning that in school." I was the SBC officer. I was treasurer for our class, and vice president. And so I learned all kinds of different processes from school. And even though I didn't really pay attention, when I got out into the world, and I went to Olathe Club of the Deaf, OCD, and really there's a lot of deaf clubs across the United States. They use the same process, like parliamentary process. They had president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. Looking back, those are skills that I learned already here at KSD. And so it was easy for me to become involved. I became the Cyber Silent Athletics president. And I'm not going to expand on that because it might take me an hour or two to go on that path. But I did become vice president. And then last year or 2 years ago, I became president and have been since then. Now, regarding goals, most people have really big goals that they've set for themselves. This is what I want, and that's it. Well, you need to have two types of goals. You need to have big goals and your short-term goals. So, for example, I would like to lose a little bit of weight, maybe 20 pounds, let's say. I know my fiancée is here. She might disagree with me, but I would like to lose 20 pounds. That's a long-term goal. Can I lose 20 pounds tomorrow and slim up that quick? I don't think so. That's more of a long-term goal. What do I need to do today, tomorrow, the rest of this week, the next month? I need to focus on my diet. I need to remain involved in sports. I know you have sports here at KSD. You have clubs, football, volleyball, track, basketball. When you graduate and leave KSD, those sports can continue. You can be involved in clubs, volleyball, bowling, tennis, all sorts of activities and sports. In fact, this Friday I'm going to play in a softball game. I'm going to continue working out and running. Now I feel guilty. I haven't started running, but again, those are all short-term goals. After several months, I might be able to achieve my long-term goal. So it's important to have both short and long-term goals. So I've given you 3 tools for success. What is success? Just because you don't have a house and a car does not mean you're a failure. Success means how you go through difficult times. Number 2, you need to be armed with important tools. All those tools that the teachers taught you, and you can have powerful tools all in your mind ready to tackle the world. And number 3, regarding goals, it's important to always have a goal, but it's important to have both long-term and short-term goals. So, to the class of 2022, I want to give you a great congratulations for your future. Best of luck. I'll give a few brief comments. I will name the seniors, and Michelle will hand over your diplomas. Once you're finished, you're allowed to share a little bit with the audience, and don't forget to move that tassel over, okay? Zachary Cyphers. I love you all. Jessica Diaz.
Thank you all for all of your support. I love you all. Jessica. Remember your tassel. There we go.
Thomas Markert. Thank you all, and I love you all. Thank you very much, and we'll let Luann give closing remarks.
Okay. I think it's my turn to give my closing remarks. I want to say to Travis, you make us so proud. Your speech tonight, I know the staff that are there are so thrilled and proud of who you have become 10 years post high school graduation. You've become such a wonderful young man, and we wish you the best of luck with your family, your employment, and everything. What a marvelous speech tonight. And now to the class of 2022. I refuse to miss this graduation for anything. I have not missed a graduation celebration in my 27 years of working here at the Kansas School for the Deaf, and I refuse to miss this one as well. The reason why I'm not with you in person tonight is because I just had cataract surgery this Monday. I'm feeling great, and I had hoped to attend the ceremony tonight, but my ophthalmologist told me that I needed to recover fully and to stay at home and rest my eyes. So I decided I would go ahead and do this in true Zoom fashion because I didn't want to miss anything, and I can see it all right here on my screen. My message to you, the class of 2022, coincides with the theme that I set for this academic school year, which is make your mark. The three of you have made your mark here at KSD in many different ways, and you will continue to do so, making marks throughout your life. In your 4 short years here at KSD, you have made several marks in your achievements. Zachary Cyphers, you've been here for 4 years, since 2018. You've participated in basketball. You won the most improved basketball player. You've participated in robotics and an oratorical contest. You were prom king, and you plan to return to be in our K-Star program and continue your education with classes at Johnson County Community College. Zachary hopes to attend NTID or RIT in the future to study computer science. Next, we have Jessica Diaz. You've been a KSD student since 2016. You won the Freshman Athlete of the Year, the oratorical contest participant. You participated in several sports, the Academic Bowl, and you won the Most Outstanding Yearbook Award. and you are our homecoming queen. After graduation, Jessica will work for her family business and would like to study art at Johnson County Community College. Next, we have Thomas Markert. He's been at KSD since 2016. He achieved the Outstanding Student Employee Award, the Accelerated Reader Award, has been an honor roll student, participant in the National Deaf Theater Competition, and we've had a technical glitch. So all three of you have made your marks as students here at the Kansas School for the Deaf. Obviously, with your skills, all of the learning you have done, and the awards and achievements you've earned, what you've learned in high school will apply to the rest of your lives. You have many years ahead of you, and I promise that each of you will look back on your time here at KSD, think of the staff and the family who have influenced you to become who you are today. So I really want to recognize the KSD staff, if you would please rise. I'd like to recognize your amazing work. So graduates, as you look at the dorm staff, your instructors, everyone who has had an impact in your life, they have contributed to who you are today. So thank you, staff, for all that you have done for our seniors and our current students. We have staff, students, Board of Ed members, and distinguished guests and families here to recognize you. And we appreciate your love and dedication to our students. So thank you, staff. Addition, family members, family and friends, please rise as well. And remember, I can see you on my screen, so please rise. We'd like to recognize you for all of your important contributions. You are the most important people in your child's lives. It's important to have family. Your parents have made the best decision when they decided for you to attend the Kansas School for the Deaf, because they were thinking about the importance of your education, the ability to be a whole person and have extracurricular activities that will also benefit and contribute to your future. So students, thank your parents. After the ceremony, be sure to show that appreciation to your parents and family. To KSD families, students, staff, all of you have made sacrifices to help the graduates become successful. They've guided you, challenged you, and each of you graduates today have risen to those challenges. Just like Travis mentioned tonight. Now you may be wondering, as you look at, families and staff and guests, and why have they worked so hard for you? And the answer is quite simple. It's because we want you to succeed and do well. All of those rewarding moments and celebrations and milestones is thrilling to celebrate with you. And this year, we get to spotlight you as you have walked across the stage and earned your diplomas. I hope you feel good. Like Travis mentioned, when he walked across the stage 10 years ago, he felt proud. And still to this day, when you walk on that stage, know that we are all so proud of you and your achievements. If you choose to enter the workforce or go on to higher education once you've completed your high school, the same is true. Take risks, be curious, ask questions. Plan and dream big. Like Travis mentioned, if you think I want that fancy car and a lot of money and a fancy boat, he's right. Life doesn't always turn out like that. The reality is that you're going to experience some challenges. And I challenge you to be doers. Roll your sleeves up. Get to work. Make it through those hard times. Don't just sit back and passively watch your life go by. Be present. Be active. The time is now. Push yourselves. Work hard. Continue to learn. And never lose that drive for knowledge. Continue to be curious and ask questions. Graduation is an interesting time in your lives. This last week, you were a student, and now you've graduated, and you may feel like, oh, now I'm on my own in just a week's time. But life will continue to give you opportunities for experience and growth continually. So continue to work hard and work through those times. You may have times when the pace of achievement takes longer and is more challenging than others. But really, you don't have all the answers to what life will bring you at this present time. And even I, as an adult at this point in my life, don't have all the answers all the time. But we make it through day by day, and we experience life. We're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you may experience some failures, but that's okay too. Sometimes you may feel embarrassed or disappointed or depressed when you have those times of failure, and that's normal. What's important is to accept your mistakes, learn from them, remain positive, accept some critique and some feedback. When you recognize the weaknesses that you have, work on them so that they can become strengths. Make smart, well thought out decisions. Sometimes we make decisions errantly and that doesn't mean that we failed. It just means we've made some mistakes along the way to success. Keep learning from them. So now you become responsible for your lives moving forward. Your parents, your family, the staff at KSD, we have guided you along the path throughout your high school career, and we will continue to support you throughout adulthood. But now is your chance to make your mark. Life is full of choices. Picture life like a roadmap. There are a variety of paths you may take, and each choice along that way will determine your ultimate path. So make sure that your choices lead you on paths that you feel proud of, that will help contribute to your success. Live the life that you want. Don't live it for others or what they think might be best. Do it for yourself. Follow your own path to your happiness. Today we gather because of your achievements and to celebrate your graduation. And what's important is to continue to show strength of character, show that you have received your education and that you are a good person and are on a path to success, regardless of what other people may think. Be compassionate and generous. Be accepting and tolerant. Be humble. And you never know how your words will impact other people. So be generous and kind with your words. And be true to your word. Be people of integrity. Because that's what you think of yourself. You are a jackrabbit. You have control over your life, and nothing can stand in your way. Reach high and dream big. If you want all of those things, right? The fancy car, the money, the big house, whatever. It may not happen right away, but maybe eventually. It's not a never kind of a thing. In summary tonight, I look forward to you coming back and visiting again. In 10 years' time, maybe you'll come back and tell us your story. We want to celebrate your success and your milestones from today and beyond. I'm so proud of you. And remember, once a jackrabbit, always a jackrabbit. We all bleed blue. So again, congratulations to all of you as you complete high school tonight, and best of luck. All right. Next, we're going to have the KSD Legacy. This is an annual tradition. We have 2 students who will be performing our legacy story tonight. They are Armando Alvarez and Michaela Hayden. And tonight, we will have someone who's also providing the spoken English translation of that. This is our KSD history of our graduation and our alumni who have made an impact here at the school and on the lives of others. So, with that, I'll let the students take it away.
Okay, I would like to go ahead and warn the audience, we do use a drum, just so you know. Kansas. On a flat plain, as the sun slowly rises, the wind rustles the grass, and off in the distance we see a covered wagon approaching. And who is driving that wagon? None other than Philip Emery. And he stakes out a place to build our school. And years and years and years after that fateful day, we see red brick buildings with Spanish red tiles and a white cupola atop. Such a beautiful sight. I'm a mother, and I have a son and daughter, and we're visiting the school. And they take the steps up to the front door with the wall sconces and the word State School for Deaf etched in stone. They enter the building, and immediately they see Chuck Baird, the father of Davia. The portrait of Chuck shows black short hair, a white shock of beard, and a big belly. And he paints his portrait, which is famous, Deaf Like Me. Oh, hey kids, look over here. It's Paul Hubbard. The portrait of Paul Hubbard has his iconic parted hair, and he was a quarterback for the KSD football team. Guess what? He invented the football huddle that we use today. Hey kids, look over here. It's Luther Taylor. Luther Taylor pitched for the New York Giants, and he had a cannon for an arm. He helped the Giants win the 1904 pennant. And guess what? He invented all our infield signals that we use today. Hey, look over here. It's Willard Madsen. Willard Madsen was an expert at taking a concept and envisioning it in American Sign Language and then translating it into written English poetry. And one of his most famous poems was, "You have to be deaf to understand." And the kids do understand. Hey kids, look over here. It's Patrick Graybill. A bald man with side hair and glasses, but he was the father of ASL poetry. He also established the National Theater of the Deaf. His famous line was, "You can't take that away from me." Well, hey, look across the hall there. It's a portrait of Helen Martin. Helen Martin was a tall, slender woman who was an expert at playing the harp as well as the piano. She was so famous she traveled the world, mostly Canada, United States, and Mexico. And she was so famous she made it onto Ripley's Believe It or Not. And did you know she was deaf and blind? Wow. Next, we see a portrait of Monroe Ingram. Monroe Ingram was the first black deaf graduate of KSD, but not only that, he was salutatorian. He usually wore a suit and tie with a baseball cap, and he was also the very first black deaf teacher at the age of 17. And his fast pitch was like a cannon too. Hey kids, look, it's William Buhler. William Buhler was a short gentleman. He lost his legs in a train accident as a child, but he didn't give up. He configured boots to fit his legs so that he can continue working at paving bricks. He set a world record of laying 46,000 bricks in one 8-hour day. Can you believe it? Well, he was in Ripley's Believe It or Not as well. And look, Ewell Hurd. Ewell Hurd's portrait with a Scoutmaster hat and tons of Eagle Scouts standing behind him. And the Championship Academic Bowl team. The Academic Bowl team studies day and night, blood, sweat, and tears. And when it comes to tournament time, the questions flag up, and we answer so many questions right that we win first place and are granted with gold medals. Oh yeah, and then there's the Championship ASL Bowl team too. The audience shrouded in darkness and a stage very well lit. Our KSD champion approaches the stage and he starts to deliver a poem. We see a farmstead with a small white farmhouse, and at the front door, an old man slowly opens the front door, and he hobbles over to his chair, his rocking chair, sits down, and he's a little bit chilly, so he puts on a blanket, and he watches the sun slowly rise. He looks over and sees a family portrait sitting next to him, grabs his coffee cup, pulls the lid off, and lets the steam warm his face. And the audience erupts in cheers and tears. Oh, I won first place? Congratulations, you won the ASL Bowl trophy. Hey kids, look, it's a cowboy boot. Did you know that the cowboy boot was invented right here in Olathe by Charles Heyer, a teacher of KSD? And he typically hired KSD graduates to work in his boot factory, making thousands and thousands of cowboy boots. Wow. And look over at that desk. That's the governor's desk. That was actually made by KSD students here in shop class. Yeah. And not only do we have an expert bilingual education of ASL and English, but we are a big family. We know how to sign, to fingerspell, to write, to read, to speak, and even listen if accessible. Direct communication, direct instruction. And all these graduates have become teachers, engineers, psychologists, farmers, coaches, accountants, mechanics, shop workers, nurses, doctors, dentists, lawyers. And now, graduates, it's your turn for future success to continue. At KSD, we are united as a family. Now that's our school. And slowly the sun fades off into the distance, the grass waving in the wind. We stare at our beautiful KSD campus. The beautiful red bricks, the Spanish red tile, and the iconic white cupola. Such a beautiful sight. Yeah, we have lots of memories. We sure do. We are jackrabbits. Blue, white was spirit. And now as we leave KSD campus, the memories fade. Whoa, 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 whoa. Have you lost your mind? Get over here. Look, KSD needs to remain in our hearts forever. Audience, if you would please rise. Throw those hats. Woohoo! KSD staff, you have the honors of leaving first to form a line in the back. Distinguished guests, you may proceed. And next, we would like, if you would like, Board of Education members, you can join the procession as well. KSD seniors and graduates, you may recess. Congratulations. Thank you everybody for coming this evening. In addition, we will have a reception in the library straight outside the doors. Feel free to congregate here or in the library. Thank you for coming.